Welcome to the Power Hour. I'm your host, Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. We're talking all things college football and pro, and we have a ton of free picks lined up for you guys today. But before we get started, I've got to remind everybody about nohouseadvantage.com. If you're a fantasy player, this is the spot for you, and we've got a promo code. Use P&P at nohouseadvantage.com, and they're going to give you a first deposit. I can't talk. Okay, ready? Because we're live. Here we go. Okay, use the promo code P&P when you're at nohouseadvantage.com, and they're going to give you a first deposit match bet of up to $50. See, I'm a professional. Let's do this. Okay, all the bill paying aside, let's get down to the free picks because that's what you guys are here for. To start things off, I've got Craig Trapp coming in the house talking a little college football. What's up, Craig?
How are we doing? It's holiday week. Happy early Thanksgiving and holidays. If you're watching this after the holidays, have a happy Thanksgiving and safe Black Friday.
Yes. Oh, I always forget about Black Friday. I'm not a shopper, so that one doesn't really apply to me. So let's talk about that Friday game. We're talking Tulane at your Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati minus the 2.5. Total on this one's 46.5. How are you going to play this one?
Yeah, something's got to give in this game, you know.
All right. So let's talk now about our new promo that's going on, our month pass. All right. You can get any two experts for $299. That's $150 off the regular price, or you can get the week pass, any two experts for $179, $50 off. Use that promo picksandparlays.net/turkey. You can also find that link in the description of this video. So check that out. All right, back to the pick. Tulane minus 2.5 at home. The total on this one's 46.5. How are you going to play it, Craig?
Well, I think what Cincinnati hasn't lost at home in like 2-3 years. So something's got to give. They haven't lost again this year at home. Tulane's been, a great story. I mean, I believe they were 3-something last year, one of the worst teams in the conference, and now all of a sudden, hey, transfer portal, look what has happened. It can really turn teams around quickly. A great year for Tulane, and coming off a just beat down last week. So 8-2 against the spread on the year. I mean, you just don't see in their last 10. You don't see that happen very often. Actually, they're 9-2 on the year, so against the spread, but 8-2 in the last 10. And you're facing a Cincinnati team that I don't think this team is as talented as Tulane, to be very honest. Maybe in a couple years, because you got a lot of young kids for Cincinnati playing. I think Tulane's better, but the home field advantage is so big. You got a Southern team come to a very cold Cincinnati stadium. I don't know. I'm staying away from the side. I think I would probably bet against my Bearcats because I'm getting 2.5 points. But I'm going to take the over in this matchup. And the reason why, this Tulane team's been starting to hit their stride. I do think Cincinnati will be able to put up 20 points in this one, 20 plus, that is. So I was thinking this game's going to end up like 27-23, 27-24, with Tulane winning a tough one and UC's long winning streak at home going to come to an end. But I think the best play take the over here, Cincinnati. I'm not going to be in Cincinnati, otherwise I'd be at this game. I'm going to be in Southeast Ohio for Thanksgiving. So have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody in Cincinnati.
Yes, absolutely. And let's roll with that over 46.5. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and you don't want to miss any of these free picks. Okay, let's roll into the NFL. Sunday game, we got the Bengals at a -1.5 at the Titans. The total on this one's 42.5. But before we get going on it, I've got to tell you guys about our promo. We've got the month pass. Any two experts on the entire picksandparlays.net site for only $299, or you could do a week pass with any two experts for $179. Just click on that link right there. You can find it in the description of the video, or type in picksandparlays.net/turkey. Gobble till your wobble. What we got here? Bengals -1.5, Titans over under 42.5. Tell me about it, Craig Trapp.
Two teams extremely good against the spread, facing off. And, let's remember, it's also a rematch. Cincinnati knocked out Tennessee, or the number 1 seed last year in the AFC early rounds there. So that's something here. Cincinnati on the year, 7-3 against the spread, 6-4 straight up. You have Tennessee, an amazing 7-3. I never thought this team would be this good this year, 8-2 against the spread. And they're coming off an impressive, I know Green Bay is struggling this year, but when you go to Lambeau Field and you dominate 27-17 like they did, that was very impressive. They can just run the ball. When you can run the ball and play good defense like Tennessee can, you can stay in almost every game. Now, come playoff time, I think your quarterback play becomes a bigger thing, and that's where Ryan Tannehill cost them last year. So I think you play the under in this game. I think Tennessee's going to stay to the script. Hey, we're going to run the ball. We're going to punt. We're going to play field position. I think Cincinnati, they've shown a propensity, other than that last week when they did well at Pittsburgh, where this offense hasn't been the same without Jamar Chase, and he's still going to be out, it looks like, in this one. So, to me, I think you take the under. I think this one is neither team gets to 20. I'm thinking like 17-14, 17-16 type game. Very, very close game. Maybe the points come in to effect here. So, which is weird. When you say 1.5, you say the plate's going to – it's like that's just the kind of game this is going to be. I'm going to take the under. I would probably take Tennessee plus the points if you had to ask me which side I was going to take.
Yeah, that's what side I would be on too, is Tennessee plus the points. But we might want to look at team totals under on this one also.
Yep.
In addition to that under 42.5. Everybody out there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern with tons and tons of free football picks for you. Okay, so one of my favorite segments that we do on the show, it's the college football rapid fire. We're going to do 5 free picks in under 5-ish minutes or so. But before we get started, don't forget about our special Thanksgiving Day promo. You can grab any two experts off of our site for $299 for a whole month or $179 for a whole week. Any two experts on the whole picksandparlays.net site. picksandparlays.net/turkey is going to get you hooked up. All right, Craig, you ready to fire away?
Yeah, I think we're going to be in that 5-minute range. So let's go.
All right, let's do it. We got Auburn at Alabama. Crimson Tide -22. The total's 52.5. Fire away.
Well, they could use a Cadillac running back like Auburn, but they don't have him as a coach now. Sounds like maybe they might be on the Lane Kiffin train. It sounds like he might be the next coach there. But either way, this matchup, too many points. I mean, I think this is a throw the record out the window when you play a rivalry game like this. I think this one is an Iron Bowl. I think it's coming down to a single-digit win by Alabama. So give me all the points plus Auburn.
All the points. I love it. Okay, huge game going on. Michigan Wolverines are at the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes -7.5. Totals 57. On my morning wood show, we got a lot of beef going back and forth through our chat on this one. What do you got here, Craig?
Well, most people think since I'm an Ohio boy, raised, born and raised, I guess they say grown and raised, born and raised in Cincinnati. I'm not an Ohio State fan. In fact, I hate Ohio State. So I'm taking Michigan plus the 7.5. Now, usually, you throw those, you throw your heart out the window. I'm being honest. When you look at the numbers, I don't think this Ohio State team is as good as people are giving them credit for. I think this comes down to the team that has the ball last. I really do. I think Michigan will be able to run the ball. I think Ohio State will be able to throw the ball. It comes down late, low scoring, physical matchup. Give me all the points. You give me more than a touchdown in a rivalry game. Give me Ohio State or Michigan plus the 7.5, as I think Ohio State wins but doesn't cover.
All right, so another rivalry game. We've got Oregon at Oregon State. Ducks are -3, and the total's 58 here.
No one's giving Oregon State credit. They obviously haven't watched Oregon all year or Oregon State all year. This is an Oregon State team that has been moneyed 8-2 against the spread the last 10 games. And yes, they have a great defense. They have a great freshman running back. They have a young quarterback due to injury, but he's been starting now for 6-7 weeks and has just made sure. I hate that game manager tag, but that's what he's been. Avoided the turnovers. You have an Oregon. You saw Bo Nix last week. He could not run. He had one really run play that really won the game. He got him that first down late, but I just think he's going to be a sitting duck back there at quack, quack. Give me Oregon State plus the points here. I think Oregon State wins in a very close game, lower scoring than what the total even suggests, I think.
All right. I hate to hear you say that, but, I like Bo Nix a lot on that squad, but he's all banged
I wish
up.
he wasn't.
What are you gonna do?
I actually think they're better off. I know you hate to pull a guy, but I think his running style, and they have a nice running quarterback. I wouldn't doubt if you see him play a little bit.
It is what it is, Ducks. All right, let's go to Notre Dame at USC. USC minus 4.5. The total on this one is 64. What do you got?
Well, usually you'd say letdown spot after UCLA, the big win against the rival. But Notre Dame and USC, you don't have a letdown spot when you're facing these two teams. These are historic teams. I think this one is going to be a really good game. I like a parlay here. Call me crazy. I'm going to take USC on the money line and over 64. Early in the year, I thought, oh, Notre Dame, they can't score. They found a way with their backup quarterback even to start scoring. I think we know USC can score, and that USC defense is not very good. Even they did get a couple stops when they needed to it late against UCLA. I like USC money line and over 64 on a parlay.
All right, let's go. How about Washington minus 2 at Washington State? This one's at a 60.5.
This one scares me. That line of 2, it's like begging you to take Washington State. But I like this Washington team. I really think. They had a couple close losses that letdown losses that it's like, man, what if Washington didn't have those losses, they would be in the Pac-12 championship game next week. But I do think Washington gets the win here. This Washington State team has played better, a little better on offense, but I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Washington's high-powered offense. Give me Washington minus the 2. I wouldn't talk anybody off just taking the money line in this one, just because that weird number. Late, man, they win by 1, or you got to push it 2. That would just stink.
Yeah, I'm with you on that money line there. And that Huskies team, I don't want to like them, but I kind of have to. I really don't like them because they beat the Ducks, but whatever. I'll have to go back to that. Whatevs. So everyone, don't forget, like, subscribe, share with your friends, ring that bell for notifications. You don't want to miss any of our free picks. And we're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Craig Trapp, thank you so much for joining us here on the Power Hour. We'll check you out next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so up next, I have expert handicapper Ross Benjamin here on the show. Ross, how you doing, friend?
It's all good, Ellie. It's all good. I like that $2.99 special. You know what? Couple somebody with me, folks. I kicked ass last week. I'm going to kick ass again. And if they don't pay me, I'm going to kick ass again. So that's what I got.
Boom. I love that. So yeah, guys, any 2 handicappers on our site for an entire month, all of their picks for $299, or take it easy. Just go for a week with any 2 cappers. Ross Benjamin's a real good one. $179 for the whole week. Use that promo right there, picksandparlays.net/turkey, or you can just check out the description of this video and click on the link. It's right there for you. All right, Ross, let's talk some Mountain West action. Wyoming at Fresno State. Fresno minus 2 touchdowns and a hook. Total's 50.5. What are we going to do with this one?
I'm going to look at the total, Ellie. Let's start with Wyoming. This is a run-heavy team. If you look at their statistics up to this point of the season, this is a team that 63.3% of their offensive plays have been runs. In their last 3 games, that improved to, if you want to call improve, it goes up to 71.7% of their offensive plays over their last 3 games have been running plays, and they've been doing it quite successfully. Unfortunately, they haven't cashed in all the time, but they do take a lot of time off the clock because they run the ball effectively, and they run the ball, obviously, most of the time. The last 3 games in this series, meaning Wyoming and Fresno State, all under the total. An average combined score, get this, folks, 22.3 points per game. I'm not suggesting it's going to fall anywhere near that. I know that Fresno State's been putting up a lot of yards and points in their 6-game win streak. However, you can't score if you don't have the ball. You can't score a lot if your time of possession is in the low 20s. And that's what Wyoming has been doing to teams of late. Wyoming has gone under the total in their last 4 games with a combined average of 38.3 points per game. Fresno, during a 6-game win streak that they're on, they're only allowing 17.3 points per game. And Wyoming, over their last 5 games, is allowing just 16.2 points per contest. I'm going with Wyoming and Fresno under 50.5.
All right, that's how we're going to roll with that Mountain West matchup. Don't forget, everyone, to like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern with all the football picks you will ever need for your weekend. All right, let's move into the NFL. We got the Giants at the Cowboys. This is the Thursday night matchup. Cowboys and it's not, is it the night matchup? Actually, let me be clear about that because we got three games on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving Day.
Middle game. It's the middle game.
Middle game. There it is. I'm glad I clarified that. Giants are at the Cowboys. Cowboys are -9, and the total on this one is 54. So before we get to that one, don't forget about our month pass, all right? Any two experts on the entire picksandparlays.net site for only $299, or take them for a week at $179. It's a great deal. Just use picksandparlays.net/turkey. You can click on that link. It's in the description of this video. All right, Ross, lay it on me. How are we going to play this one?
Well, both teams 7-3, right? That's where the similarity ends. Here's the thing. It's an overused cliche. Some teams are pretenders. Others are contenders. The Giants are unequivocally, in my mind, pretenders at 7-3. And they have a lot of injury issues as well as three of their defensive linemen haven't been able to practice thus far this week because of illness. They also lost Adoree Jackson, starting defensive back for the year, to an injury. Also lost their former first-round pick, Wan'Dale Robinson, wide receiver, for the year. He tore his ACL. That means the Giants have now put 3 players on season-ending IR that play at the wide receiver position. They're running out of options, and Saquon Barkley can only do so much if you're playing from behind. Dallas did win the first matchup earlier this season at the Meadowlands, 21-6, and they forced 4 turnovers in that game and held the Giants to just 302 yards. This is a Dallas team in this series since 2017 has won 10 of 11 against the Giants, covered 9 of those 11, and including 5-0 straight up and 4-1 against the spread at home, outscoring the Giants in those 5 home games by an average of 13.6 points per contest. I just Dallas, again, real strong in division play since 2020 at home, 6-1 straight up, outscoring their opponents by an average of 14.2 points per game. And how about the Dallas offense? They've awakened their last 3 games, 39 points per game, 440 yards per game, and they're clicking on all cylinders offensively, and that pass rush is going to wreak havoc on Daniel Jones because he's not going to be able to hand the ball to Saquon Barkley 25 times this game. He's going to have to play from behind. He's going to have to do it with his arm, and that Dallas defensive line is relentless when it comes to pass rush. I'm taking the Cowboys here, laying a big number of 9 at home on Thanksgiving Day over the New York Football Giants.
I feel like the Cowboys and Thanksgiving are like Thanksgiving and turkey. Like the Cowboys are just always there. All right, we're going to lay the 9 points with the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, the midday game, by the way. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications because we've got all the football picks you need every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Ross Benjamin, thank you so much for stopping by the show. We'll see you next time on the Power Hour.
Thank you for having me, Ellie. Appreciate it, and I look forward to the next time as well.
Cheers. All right. We've got another man, myth, and legend coming up. It's Chip Chirimbus, expert handicapper over at Picks and Parlays. What's going on, Chip?
Well, nothing but winners galore nowadays, Allie. The college football was good to us for the Game of the Year winner, Army, and a Megabuck winner, Arkansas. And in the NFL, we did have Dallas. And by the way, great analysis by Ross Benjamin right before me on that game. I really paid attention to it, and I think I got a lot out of it.
Beautiful. I love it. I always get a lot when I hear from Ross, but I always get a lot when I hear from you too. And people at home, if you want to get a lot out of those 2 handicappers, we've got a deal. You can get a month-long pass, pick any 2 handicappers on the picksandparlays.net site. Like, I don't know, Chip Chirimbus and Ross Benjamin, maybe. Their whole month, you're going to get it for $299, or just go for a week with 2 cappers at $179. Use that promo right there, picksandparlays.net/turkey, or click on the link in the description of the video. All right, so talk to me. Michigan, Ohio State. This is a big one. We got Ohio State at -7.5, and the total is a 57. How are you going to roll with this?
Well, it's the biggest game of the Turkey Bowl shoot weekend, I guess we'd call it. And, we're already 13-4 with our Megabuck winners in college football, and we're probably going to have 2 of them over the Thanksgiving weekend, so don't miss any of that. Great matchup. Last year, Michigan finally breaks through after 9 straight losses, and to Ohio State, and they really dominated. They won handily, and they really put the Buckeyes in their place for the first time in almost a decade. Number 1 on defense in the nation are the Michigan Wolverines. They're only allowing 241 yards a game. Ohio State's offense, of course, is one of the top in the country. I think they rank number 4 at 492 yards, number 2 in scoring at 46 points per game. If you play the totals against these 2 teams, Michigan has been over 15-5 on the road, but they're 9-2 to the under when they're playing against the Buckeyes. So that's not, I think, the way to go here. I think the number is very inviting for a team like Michigan, which is 11-0, 6-4 against the number. They came off a win last year, which sort of broke the hex that they had against the Buckeyes. But I just think this number's telling here. I think it's probably going to be a close game most of the way, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Ohio State eke out an extra touchdown or field goal at the end to get over the number. Great running back for Michigan. I just love that kid there. But, of course, we got the Heisman Trophy candidate for Ohio State here. It's an early game. I like the favorites in those early games, so we're going to stay with Ohio State.
All right, go Buckeyes minus the 7.5. People, don't forget, like and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, because we're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and you don't want to miss any of the free picks. All right, let's move into the NFL. Packers are up at the Eagles this Sunday. Eagles are minus a 7. Total is 46.5. Before we get to it, let's remember about this monthly pass. Any 2 experts over at picksandparlays.net for only $299 for the entire month. 2 cappers for 1 month, $300. That's where it's at. Or just try it out for a week with 2 cappers at $179. That's value, people, and you can find it picksandparlays.net/turkey. All right, so let's do this. Packers and the Eagles, like I said, minus 7, 46.5. How are you going to do this one, Chip?
Well, this is a great matchup of 2 championship caliber teams at one time or another, but obviously the Packers have slipped here. And by the way, Ali, I want to let you know, 19-7 with their NFL Megabucks coming off the Dallas route of the Vikings. We're really cooking in the NFL and probably going to have 1 Megabuck play on Thanksgiving Day and another one again on Sunday. But either way, this is going to be a tough contest for Green Bay to get over. I just don't see them having the talent, and I don't think they can get into shootout against this Philadelphia team because of the Phillies' defense. I think this game stays under the total, although Philadelphia is 1-4 against people with losing records in their last 5. So that would make me lean toward the Packers, but I don't have any confidence in them. Ali, the Packers are 1-4 on the road against the number this year, and believe it or not, they're 14-6 after a loss, a straight-up loss, which when we had Tennessee a week ago Thursday, they got pounded. So I'm looking for the Packers to try and show up here, but I think they know that their way to get here is to keep a low-scoring game and try to get – most people would probably think that you want Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. I just don't think so here, not from what I've seen from their receivers, their inability to get open. 8 of the last 10 for the Packers have gone under, and the last 5 meetings in Philadelphia have gone under the total. I usually like to give a side in the game. I just don't have confidence in the Packers here. I'll know by game time if I have a side or not. But right now, I think the only way I'm going to go is to play this game under.
All right, so check out Chip's premium plays over at picksandparlays.net. That's where you might be able to find the side on this game if he likes it. But until then, we're going to roll with it going under the 46.5. Don't forget, everyone, like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Chip, thank you so much for stopping by the Power Hour. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Ali.
See you next time. Okay, so up next, we have Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room. We're talking South Carolina at Clemson. What's going on, Nick?
Yeah, not much. Always great to be on a panel with Chip and Ross and yourself.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. So before we get started, I want to tell all of our viewers about the special Turkey Day promo we're running over at the site, picksandparlays.net/turkey. It's going to get you a month pass with any two experts on the site for $300 or a week pass with two experts for $179. It's a really good deal, guys. Head over to picksandparlays.net and check it out, or click on the link that's in the description of this video. Okay, so a little college football action for your Saturday. South Carolina is at Clemson. Clemson minus 14.5, and the total is 52.
Right. So we're coming down the stretch here, obviously. Just a couple games left for some teams. This is the final game for other teams. And Ellie, I come into this this weekend here having won 8 of the last 9 weeks in college football. So we'll look to keep that rolling right through the bowls. But yeah, for this game, obviously, it's a pretty interesting non-conference matchup here at the end of the season. It's rivalry week. South Carolina 7-4 overall, 4-4 in the SEC. Clemson, number 9 in the country, 10-1 overall, 8-0 in the ACC. Now, South Carolina, I'm not sure if you had South Carolina last weekend, but yeah, it's coming off that amazing 63-38 home win over then number 5 Tennessee last weekend. Spencer Rattler had 6 touchdown passes in that one. The Gamecocks, if we're looking at their total, they've alternated the over and under in each of their past 7 games. And so, you know what? I think that this pattern is going to continue here, and especially, after their huge offensive explosion last weekend. On the other side of the ball, Clemson, it crushed Miami 40-10 last weekend. It covered the 19-point spread. The Tigers, they're on their way to the college football playoff again here under Dabo Swinney. It's his 15th year coaching the team. Now, they're just 2-3 against the spread in their last 5 as a double-digit favorite. And like their opponent today, the over-under has alternated over the last 5 games as well. And then the over did cash in the last game. And so, yeah, I'd like this pattern for both these teams to continue here. Now, Clemson, it does have a really great defense. And I just think the last thing the Tigers will want to do is to give Rattler any sort of confidence here. Clemson is ranked 28th in the country on the defensive side of the ball. They hold the opponents to 20 points per game. Rattler's offense is probably going to take a bit of a hit this weekend as well. That's because running back Marshawn Lloyd is questionable, and he's definitely their number 1 running back. Only one team has thrown for over 100 yards against Clemson in November, and that was Louisville. And so, Ali, I'm looking at this game. They both played to those higher scoring overs last weekend. I think that this game's going to be a lot more defensive, so I'm going to suggest a play on the under.
All right. Under the 52 is how we're going to play South Carolina at Clemson. People at home, check us out. Like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and you don't want to miss the free football picks that we give out here on the Power Hour. All right, let's move into the NFL. We're talking the Rams at the Chiefs, but before we get into this Sunday matchup, I got to remind everyone about our monthly pass, any two experts on the site for $299, or our weekly pass, any two experts for $179. Use picksandparlays.net/turkey to claim that promo, or just check out the description of this video and click on the link. Okay, so we got the Rams at the Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 14.5. The total is 44 on this one. How are we going to play it, Nick?
Well, I'm feeling like the Undertaker this weekend. After a Super Bowl victory there, Matt Stafford and the Rams, they come into week 12 at just 3-7. So, yeah, barring a miracle, obviously the season is over for LA. And now that's due to many different factors. Injuries contributed to the poor season. But the Chiefs, they're now 8-2. They held on for the 30-27 road win at the Chargers last weekend. Kansas City does have the number 1 offense in the league. But I just don't think it's going to run up the score here for a number of different reasons. It has 3 straight road games after this. They're not going to have to keep the foot on the gas from start to finish in this one. And they won't have to, and they won't want to in this one. I don't think I'm going to lay the large spread in this one, but I do think that this total is a little high, despite it being kind of low. The Rams offense is terrible. It threw its best shot at the Saints last weekend. They still only managed 20 points. They only averaged 16.8 points per game, and that ranks 29th in the league. yeah, Mahomes and company, they don't need to run up the score here. What they need to do is get out of this game without having any injuries. They need to focus on the next stretch here. And so, yeah, I'm expecting a lot of game killing, clock killing. And yeah, I think that this number is a little high. So I'm going to go under.
All right, under the total we go, under 44. Guys, don't forget, like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications if you enjoy the free content you're seeing here today. Don't forget, we're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Nick Parsons, thank you so much for stopping by the Power Hour. We'll see you next week.
For sure. Thanks, Allie.
Good luck. All right, one more to go. We're talking Jesse Schul is in the house to talk some college ball with us. What's up, Jesse?
What's up, Allie? I heard you guys got a holiday coming up.
Yes, we do. Thursday's Turkey Day here in America. We're pretty excited about it. And then Friday's Black Friday. Apparently, we get all fat and then we go shop. That's how we do it. It's kind of a gluttonous weekend. We're Americans. That's how we like to do things. All right.
I'm going to take a pass on that. I'll be watching the World Cup, eating some barbecue, drinking some beer, enjoying the
I'll be
weather.
still doing that also. That's why I'm so tired today. I was up all night watching the hot dang World Cup, Jesse. I love it. I love it. There's nothing I can do about it.
I'm watching it right now.
Are you? Is it still 2-1 France?
3-1. They just scored as you put me on the show.
Hot diggity dog. Here we go. All right. So let's talk some American football here. Notre Dame's at USC. USC -4.5 coming off that win at UCLA. The total on this one's 64. How are you going to play it, Jesse?
Well, Allie, hate's a strong word. So I'll say that I don't care much for Notre Dame. I've always thought they've been notoriously overrated. They've built up impressive records against inferior opponents. And I just don't like betting on them. I prefer to bet against them. That said, this looks like actually a pretty good spot if you like the Irish. USC coming off that big win over UCLA. There is an argument there to suggest it's a letdown spot for USC. Another thing to be concerned about with USC is they've got a 24-4 turnover ratio, which is just amazing. And when you really break that down and think about it, 24-4, they're winning. They've won the turnover battle in every game they've played so far. They've been great, but without those turnovers in their favor, would they still have the same record? Probably not. And it's really hard to bank on that turnover ratio continuing. Another knock on USC, they lost their leading rusher, Travis Dye, to a season-ending injury. Now, not so fast, my friends. As far as the letdown spot goes, geez, with Tennessee's loss last week, they're back in play for the playoffs, USC. If things fall into place the right way, USC can still sneak into the playoffs with a Pac-12 championship. So I don't really expect a letdown. As far as the Travis Dye injury, his replacement, Austin Jones, ran for 120 yards and a touchdown last week. Travis Dye was averaging 6.1 yards per carry. Austin Jones averaging 6.2 yards per carry. Looks like they're in pretty decent shape at the running back position. So let's move to the quarterback position. Caleb Williams, 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Notre Dame cannot match the USC offense. At the end of the day, I don't really want to step in front of USC here. They need this win. They'll probably get it. The 4.5 points seems like a fair price. I'll take the Trojans.
Yeah, I watched that game, USC and UCLA. They just look good. They just looked good. They looked like they wanted it. They look motivated. I got to agree with you on this one. Trojans is the only way I could play this one. Everyone, don't forget, like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we do have a special Thanksgiving Day promo for you guys. picksandparlays.net/turkey is going to get you any 2 handicappers on our site for a full month at only $299 or for a full week at just $179. There is a link in the description of this video. All right, last one for the round. Let's move into the NFL. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Washington Commanders. Commanders -4.5. The total is 42. Don't forget about that promo, everybody. picksandparlays.net/turkey. Any 2 experts for $299 for the whole month or $179 for a whole week. Check it out. The link is in the description of the video. All right, Jesse, lay it on me. Commanders -4.5, totals 42. How do we do it?
So the Commanders, they play in this division commonly referred to as the NFC least. At least that's what we used to say. Well, guess what? The NFC East is the best division in football now, baby. Everybody's got a winning record, including Washington. So, Ali, I might have mentioned this last week, but before the NFL season started, I did predictions for every team, the regular season win totals. And one of the teams I wrote about was Washington, and I predicted they would fall short of the regular season win total. And one of the reasons for that is I didn't really like the acquisition of Carson Wentz. And I wrote that if you compare the statistics of Carson Wentz to those of Taylor Heineke, there's really no difference between the two quarterbacks. Statistically, Heineke was just as good as Wentz. And in fact, he might be better than Wentz. And certainly it looks like the Commanders like playing with Heineke at quarterback. The teams rallied around him. I mentioned that the stats between the two quarterbacks were quite similar. Well, there's one stat that stands out, and that's W's and L's. Really key stat in football, wins and losses. Heineke's 4-1, and Wentz was 2-4. Big deal there.
Huge.
Atlanta, they're 1-4 on the road. They lost Kyle Pitts for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Tough game in Washington here. Chase Young could be back for the Commanders. I think I'm just going to ride the hot team here and take Washington.
I'm with it. Ever since Heineke's come back, you're right. They have been covering. They have been winning. And I think he's got that like nothing to lose kind of vibe about him. You know, like Wentz had his starting position to lose and he's got a reputation in the league. And Heineke's just coming in and doing work. And I like it. It's a good look on him.
It's a feel-good story, too. It's a guy that you want to cheer for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Carson Wentz is not a guy I want to cheer for, for whatever reason. So, yeah, let's go Commanders minus the 4.5 on Sunday when they're taking on the Falcons. I love it. Everyone, don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Good luck to everyone out there. Have a happy Thanksgiving, a happy Black Friday,